Morning, intuitives. Thank you, new subscribers, and please, everyone who's recently subscribed and those who haven't watched my older videos, watch my older videos because there's good information on them, even if I'm not as polished. Not that I'm polished now, but there is important information in those videos that I continue to build on in future videos. So they're all the same style, just less polished and with this cheap ass microphone because, again, when I started the channel, it's what I had lying around from Zoom calls from the Fire Academy. So, topic I want to get on today is how the narcissist is a follower, and not just a follower, but they love to take things away from people. In other words, a narcissist, what they truly want is to get over on somebody else, to manipulate somebody into doing something they don't want to do to please them. We know that. But it's also important to mention that the majority of the time, when the narcissist loves to do this the most, is when they're taking away something or someone from somebody else, because then that thing or person has value to somebody else. And what narcissists want more than anything is for other people to be like, I wish I was them. I wish I had what they had. Look at their stuff. Look, they have all this. Like, the narcissist wants adulation and wants to believe that people want to be them, that they look up to them, that they wish they were them. Hence why a lot of celebrities are narcissists. Yeah, see the connection. See what I did there. Not all, but most of them are. I would venture to say it's not that I know that many of them, and the ones I have met, with the exception of two, I haven't talked to in well over a decade. So, but this, if you know narcissism and you see people and the signs and all that, you can make a pretty good educated guess. And as an INFJ, my intuition's right 85% of the time, and my track record is at least that good. So why is this so important to a narcissist? Well, like I said, a narcissist is a follower. Really, what an adult narcissist is somebody who's trying to relive their teenage fantasies. Many people who run narcissistic abuse channels talk about how narcissists, by and large, mentally never leave high school. And what they try to do with their adult life is they try to create that perfect, Mary Sue-esque version of what they wish their teen years were, where they're like the fucking Regina George, Queen Bee, or, Dude Bro, I'm trying to think of the right character. Or they're like Steve Stifler or something, like the king or queen of the high school, because to them, that's what life's all about. And that was extremely important to them, and they never moved past it. And most of the time, that wasn't their reality when they were there. Or for some of them, it was their reality, but that's when they peaked, and their whole life is about resurrecting those glory days. And both for the same reason, and both whether they lived their dream at that era or didn't, it's because mentally they're stuck in that age, and that's what they view as important, and nothing else can give them that sense of purpose and validation and accomplishment in life, because to them, life is high school. Life is to be lived like high school. Welcome to Chester County. By and large, don't come here. Don't. Unless you go to Westchester University, or if you live in the borough of Phoenixville. But the rest of it, I recommend you stay out of it. And I know people are tired of me saying that, but I have to keep warning people because no one else will say it. They'll admit it when I pull it out of them, but they'll be like, well, it's not that bad. It's Stockholm syndrome-y kind of thing. But another video. So, yeah, the narcissist is stuck in high school. So what they want is for other people to look up to them and their followers. And what's the most obvious thing for followers and, that age group that makes people admire them? And it's something narcissists value hugely: materialism, stuff, shiny, expensive stuff. So, number one, the narcissist will constantly, be the follower with stuff. And when I mean be the follower, I mean, it's not like they have a certain, inkling towards certain material things that maybe are very niche and not a lot of people would appreciate. No, they wait until like something becomes popular and desirable, and then they go out and try to obtain as much of it as they can to make other people envious of how much of it that they have, and whatever that may be. It differs, you know, through certain age groups. But a narcissist will go like head over heels into something, obtaining something materialistic that they were never into before. It's not like, somebody who's always been in the cars bought like a junker 68 Porsche and fixed it up over 5 years. And then people were like, well, that's cool because, it's all polished and nice now. But when they got it, it was a junker. But that's their hobby, to fix shit up like that. Like that's what they enjoy doing. That's not something the narcissist will do. If something like, becomes popular out of nowhere, like them obtaining Teslas, for example. And then the narcissist will act like they're always as much in the cars as the guy who spent a solid 5 years fixing up the old Porsche and, grew up with Porsche posters on his wall and stuff. Because I know that guy, he lives next door. So the narcissist, all of a sudden, once, people are like, ooh, that car is cool, they'll jump head over heels into cars, even if they were never in the cars before, because that's what cool. And that'll make people want to envy them. See, look at my stuff. You think that's cool? I have more stuff like that. That's the narcissist. They're a follower. Probably one of the most obvious ones, especially for female narcissists, is whatever designer bags are in at the time, There are, I've known some true fashionistas out there that have followed certain designers before they were real big, or, when they were in decline, because fashion ebbs and flows. So, but they would, say they were always into Louis Vuitton when Louis Vuitton wasn't in, because it was all about the little mini Kate Spade backpacks that, I may or may not have sold ones that fell off a truck out of the trunk of my junker car in high school because of my friends/family in a certain industry that needed a miner to unload some stuff like that. May or may not have happened, but a little early 2000s nostalgia for you with fashion. Anyway, the narcissist will all of a sudden, it's not like, oh, I've always liked this designer, blah, blah, blah. As soon as it becomes popular, that's when they have to go obtain the biggest collection of it, because it's like, oh, look, I have the in thing, and I have more than everybody else has as the in thing. Therefore, you should all envy me. Like, look how cool I am. I know people who've done it with booze too, I've been drinking single malt scotch since I was 17. Not very popular, but there were a lot of people when I was in my late teens, all of a sudden Grey Goose was all the rage. And there were all of a sudden, people that never drank vodka in their life that were all raging about Grey Goose and had handles and cases of it. Ooh, look how popular I am. That kind of stuff. That's the narcissist. They want to obtain whatever the fad is as quick as possible and as much volume of it as possible, because they think that will give them some sense of dominance to be admired. Because it's like, if this is what's in and I have most of this, then you all must envy me the most. That's how their mind works. But there's another layer to this too. And what they truly want, as I said, a narcissist really is only happy when they get over on somebody, when they exploit somebody, when they're getting somebody to feel sorry for them or do something for them that person doesn't want to do, but they go along with it anyway, which is why ENFJs are the most common targets of narcissists. That whole people pleasing, can't say no pushover thing. Yeah, and it's the most heartbreaking too. And it has been for years for me. I'm going back 20 years, long before I knew what any of this stuff was. But the narcissist, more than anything, likes to take something away from other people. So we'll use people as an example, and it can be jobs or anything, but people's the most common example. Say, the narcissist kind of has a thing for somebody, but that person's kind of quiet and obscure, and people admit that person's pretty, but it's not like everybody's like, oh my God, I don't do anything. Then all of a sudden, let's say that person starts like, it becomes obvious that there's something brewing between that person and another person around. And the other person around may be like the one that people tried to get, but nobody was successful in doing it, kind of thing. So now all of a sudden these two people, the narcissist sees these two people really happy, like ecstatically happy, like everybody can see it. Everybody's talking about them, like, oh my God, look at their chemistry, this and that. Like, everybody sees it, and everybody's like, what took them so long, kind of thing. It's one of those, like when I'm talking about, like the kind of couple that when they're first starting to get together and they go out, the chemistry and the affection, people, random people on the streets notice it kind of thing. Like, ooh, that's what, love looks like kind of deal. So let's say that happens. Now all of a sudden that person that the narcissist, was like, well, that might be a target. Now that's their number one target. Why? Because that person's now desirable. That person is being noticed. That person is now happy and ecstatic, and everybody's seeing them with this third person. So the narcissist thinks, well, if I steal that person away, then everybody will be noticing us, because they assume it's like, no, 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 that's the key to envy. It's just being with that person. It's not specifically what those two other people may or may not have that everybody notices. No, that's something desirable. That'll get me noticed. That'll make people, want to be me and wish that they had her, because to them, people are interchangeable. It's not about like certain people may have certain attractions and chemistries. It's all about like, well, if that's the kind of person that people want, then I have to find a way to steal it. And that's exactly what they do. And I've gone over in other videos the tactics they use, the guilt trips, the histrionics, the poor me, the, oh, I don't know what I would do without you slander. That was a popular video. Everybody should watch it again. I was really surprised how well that video did. So, but it must be awesome. Uh, all types of different coercive control. And that makes the victory all the more sweeter for the narcissist, because not only did they obtain something that they wanted, and now they're, convincing this person that they stole away most likely to be completely subservient to them, because I've gone over that in a couple of videos. It's like, and that's a major victory for them in itself. It's like, well, if I could convince this person to leave this other person that they were like obviously happy with, that everybody could see, if I can do that, then this person must be real subservient. This will be someone who will completely bend to my will. Because I mean, think about it. The narcissist a lot of times isn't stupid. It ain't right up there, but they ain't stupid. So if they can convince someone to leave someone they were happy with for the narcissist via their narcissistic tactics, the narcissist knows already, well, this person's easily manipulated because I already manipulated them. And also the narcissist has the satisfaction of going, I took a thing away from you. You are miserable now, and I got what I wanted. Yeah, they love that. And they love twisting the knife. They love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Once the narcissist is able to steal something away, be it a promotion, a person, what have you, they're going to keep rubbing that in your face. They're going to keep twisting that knife in you because they want a reaction out of you. They want that. They get off on the fact where it's like, I stole something away from you, something that was important to you. It's mine now. And some might even be like, and might even, if they know what narcissism is, might even get in your face and say things like, well, this person will do anything for me now, and you wouldn't want her now anyway. It's like, ooh, and you might you might make a face like you're about to have an aneurysm when you hear that. Just saying, maybe not saying it did. I'm just saying maybe. So it's stuff like that, that really, really gets in that sense of accomplishment, obtaining that thing that they want, that makes people envy them, that thing or person, that other people want, having something somebody else wants. Love that. And if they can steal it away and also, bend that person to their will, that's like a fucking hat trick to them. And they're gonna strut around and, like, they'll strut around and brag, but at the same time when they do that, they're exposing who they really are. They don't see it that way. See, they see what they do as normal, as this is how life works. You just take whatever you want by any means necessary. And, I want person A. It doesn't matter what person A wants. As long as I can get them to do what I want, I don't care how unhappy they are. I want what I want, and I deserve what I want. That's the narcissist. But again, they're followers. That's my key point of this video. They want, the admiration of others. They want people to want to be them. And they usually do this because, again, they're mentally stuck as teenagers. They do it through jumping on bandwagons and obtaining or stealing away from other people things that other people, see as valuable. Now, this is getting long. I'm going to keep going. I've seen this in work too. Like, Years ago when I was becoming a firefighter the first time when I got hired at 19, there were people who never had any interest in emergency services, never into that stuff at all. All of a sudden, like, oh, yeah, I want to do that too and help people and save lives. I mean, granted, it's like, these are people that a few months before I got my offer were making fun of me. And it's like, and in my case, I became a junior firefighter in the volunteers around here at 16. I became an EMT at 17. I forwent traditional college to work as an EMT and to go to fire science classes at night. So I had, by the time I got my offer to be a professional firefighter, I'd been essentially working in the industry part-time for 3 years. It was a build. But other people would see, like, if they saw, well, what happened was, it was females giving me that hero adulation. And some narcissistic guys saw that as like, "Ooh, badge get me laid, me want badge," kind of thing, not knowing the rigorous process to get that job. And how the academy's a 6-month ass kicking. They just wanted the clothes to wear to strut around in, to be able to play the hero card and hope that would get them laid. So it's in work too. It's with material things. It's with work. It's with people. Again, it's all about the narcissist being a follower. They look to see what other people value and figure, if I can get more of that thing, or if I can steal away that person that everybody wishes they had, or get the job that everybody admires, I'll have the thing that'll make people admire me. And finally, I'll be the queen bee, or I'll be the prom king, and I'll be living my high school fantasy. Because to them, the whole world is life is a continuation of high school. It's all about being popular and clicks and all that. It's not about, things like, oh, I just want a job that pays the bills, that gives me a sense of purpose, that elusive blue rose of unconditional love, and a place to live in a progressive area where I enjoy the culture there. Yeah, like that. That's not good. It's like, no, you must pass all that up. You were offered. Never. All right, I'll do it. So, to a narcissist, it would be crazy for somebody to choose and by the way, I think you know what I'm going to say. So this takes place in '06. It was crazy for someone to pick a $43,000 a year firefighter job as opposed to like a $130,000 modeling contract. Yeah. To a narcissist, that's crazy, because it's like, people like models. Model get laid. It's like, firefighter. You don't even live in this area anymore. So that kind of thing. It's, to them, it'll always be about materialism. It'll always be about impressing other people. And I'll get into another video about, a narcissist usually lives in the same town their whole lives, and I'll tell you why. I think you know why, but we'll get into that. So I hope this video helped in explaining how the narcissist, yeah, they try to play leader, and they can be leaders of like more subservient narcissists, but in general, a narcissist is a follower. They're trying to get non-narcissists to envy them, to want to be them, to think of, raise them on high, kind of thing. Remember, if you're dealing with a narcissist, trust your intuition about when it's time to call them out and how to do it. And of course, trust your intuition. If it's telling you to go no contact to it. So, and don't sell out your integrity to please a narcissist, no matter what materialism they may promise or what guilt trip they lay on you, because the damage never fully goes away. And even to get it, to a tolerable degree of gone away takes far longer than the time you waste pleasing the narcissist. And who knows what you pass up in that meantime to simply pleasing somebody who doesn't care about you, who only cares about obtaining what they want, and who treats you essentially as a means to an end and a plaything. Please like and subscribe and go back and watch my older videos. Help the channel grow so it can reach more people and more people can be helped by this information. Thank you for watching, and please leave your comments. I'm glad that my ramblings into a microphone has helped so many of you. That is why it exists. That is why an introvert like me, who's not comfortable on camera, drags himself on camera as often as he can.